Hey there, everybody. Brent Wheat, publisher of WildIndiana.com, and we're coming to you again live from the Gander Outdoors store in Castleton in Indianapolis. We've been live a couple of times earlier today, and just explain what we're doing here. You know, lots of folks know what Gander Mountain is. They've gone bankrupt. This is a whole new thing. They share the name Gander, but it's Gander Outdoors. So they're in the same location as the old Gander Mountain store, but they invited Wild Indiana's cameras down here to let folks know, let the Indiana outdoor enthusiasts know that they got a new big store. They can go damage their credit card here, as we've done all afternoon. But they've got a special event going on today until 6 p.m. They've invited a lot of their vendors and some organizations down, so it's a kind of a lousy day outside. If you still got a couple hours, come on down here and you can meet a lot of interesting folks and interesting organizations, and of course commit retail. So we ran into a couple of guys that we know that they are part of a program that we support. It is Joe Smith, who is the project leader for Project Healing Waters in Central Indiana, and Joe Jackson, one of their ace fly tires. So we're going to start with Joe Smith. I'm going to get confused there. Give us the quick overview of what Project Healing Waters is.
Well, the idea behind the concept behind Project Healing Waters is to take veterans with service-connected disability that are coming back from overseas and to take them out and give them some therapy time on the water, teach them to tie flies and to fly fish, and that's the essential part of it.
So Project Healing Waters, though, is a national organization, right?
It is a national organization. There are 210 programs nationwide. Central Indiana is one. We're trying to start one in the Evansville area and also somewhere up north, Fort Wayne possibly. So we've had some support up there that we're trying to garner and get involved. So.
And, you know, it's a great program, obviously, but it's also been really successful in Central Indiana. I forget the name of the contest, but for fly tying for the organization, the national contest, we had the number 1 and number 2 place fly tyers.
We did, and we're very pleased about that. It's called the International Fly Tying Symposium. It was held in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, if I'm
Lancaster,
PA, and each year that's Project Healing Waters is part of that. They offer certain prizes, but mostly it's bragging rights.
Yeah.
And there were 700 entries this year, and out of those 700, Indiana placed number 1 and number 2, and we were extremely pleased with that. So
absolutely. So the number 1 tire, and we did a podcast with him a few weeks ago, Son Tao. We met with him up at Fly Masters, our old friends, John and Derek and company up there, and talked to him about that. And now we've got the guy that came in right behind Son Tao, Sergeant Joe Jackson. He is busy on the Vice. So Joe Jackson, I keep getting tripped up by the Joe Jackson. Give us a brief overview of yourself and how you came to be part of Project Healing Waters.
Well, I've been fishing since I was about 4. My mom always took me, and when the weather permitted, we were just always out camping. I didn't start fly fishing until I was at until I got with Project Healing Waters, which is 2 years ago, this past November. I got told I had to go to the VA and start doing counseling, and first time I went there, I saw a flyer on the elevator for Project Healing Waters, and I was like, whoa, veterans and fly fishing. I was like, that's something I can get into. While I was enlisted, I didn't get much time to fish, but it was always a passion of mine, and I just sort of kind of took off with it. I have a very supporting wife who allows me to, encourages even sometimes, and it just helped me excel.
So what is the pattern we got going on here?
I don't know the name of it. It's just it's something my wife's been doing, and I don't know if she saw it on a YouTube video or what, but it's pretty easy, and it's really fishy. It looks great in the water, and it doesn't take me 2 hours to tie like deer hair, so it's actually relaxing.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to hit on. Is what is it about fly tying that really, is it the focus, or is it just working with your hands, or what is it that really speaks to you, that you obviously love it and you obviously picked it up really quick?
Well, when I first got in healing waters, I had kind of rage issues and anxiety issues. Didn't like being around people. First couple times I was there, probably just sitting in the back by myself. But I don't know what it is. It might be the focus. But the reason I focused on deer hair, which I'm not doing deer hair right now, deer hair is my focus. Because I needed something to be angry at, and man, deer hair. You guys know deer hair.
All fly tyers know what you're talking about.
You spend an hour on deer hair, and then you make that first cut across the bottom and nick that thread, and it goes right in your face. That's something you can be angry at. And, then I'm not angry at anyone else.
Yeah.
But, it helped a lot. Now I'm obsessed with it. I've got my little girl's 4 years old. She's tying flies, and my little boys, they're 7, 8, and 10. 7, 9, and 10. They got their own rigs, their own vices.
Wow.
When they do good in school, and on Friday they're like, we got A's on our spelling test. I'm like, well, what do you guys want to do special? They're like, let's go out in the yard and cast our fly rods. That's a win in my book.
Absolutely.
But,
so you are also starting a guide service, Two Forks Guide Service. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I met Jason, the founder, in this past November, or this past January. He asked me if I wanted to go fishing with him up on the White in Noblesville. And after an hour or so, we caught a couple fish. And he was sort of just being a gilly, seeing how I was going to do it, what I was all about, and 36-degree water, which is tough conditions.
Absolutely.
So after I caught a couple fish, he's like, "Hey, you want a job on a project I've been working on?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, let's talk." He's gonna be running trips on the north, on Conner Prairie, and another spot up north on the White. He bought a little lodge we can put 4 people in.
Wow.
If they're coming from out of state. I've been doing a lot of out of state promotions because I got an insane amount of free promotion from Project Healing Waters.
Yeah.
I just went to Pennsylvania where I met a couple of my friends now that are legends. It's been insane.
Yeah. Is fly fishing, fly tying, you think that's going to be your career from now on?
I don't know. I just talked to a couple companies about going pro staff for them. Partridge Hooks, I'm hoping that I'm kind of on their little baby step, getting the pro discount, but I'm not technically on their pro staff. I talked to a couple vice companies. I turned them down just because I'm kind of the poor guy.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be that eccentric rich fly fisher guy that you all hear about.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. But I like Regal. I like that they support Project Healing Waters.
Yeah.
I don't really want to be involved with anybody that doesn't support it.
Absolutely.
Because I wouldn't be here today, and I definitely wouldn't be here fly tying if it wasn't for Project Healing Waters. So.
Well, great.
One of the mysteries of fly fishing, I guess, is that people think it's expensive to get into it, and we can even look around here at Gander, and I'm sure we can go over there and find a kit for $100 or under $100 to get people started, and then people can migrate, but it's not always the rod. It's not, it's just the idea that you can learn to cast, and you can learn to cast with a $40 rod as well as an $800 rod or even $1,000. So,
absolutely.
I've got a bunch of rigs, and not one of them is over $200.
Yeah.
All the vices I have, not one of them's over $200. This one that I got won when I got second place, it's probably $230, and it's amazing. I started out with a Peak, and I love it. I take it everywhere when I'm doing really big stuff because I haven't graduated to the bigger Regal for my deer hair.
Yeah.
But, it don't cost much. Fly tying's the expensive thing. I got $1,000 worth of material to tie.
$1,000 worth of hair and feathers.
Hair and feathers to tie $2 flies,
Yeah. To chase an animal that has a brain the size of a garden pea.
I get to potentially fish in my brain all winter long when I'm tying these, coming up with patterns.
So, Joe Jackson, how is it folks can learn more about this Two Forks Guide service?
You can add me on Instagram. I'm sgt.bassfisher.
Okay.
And then you can just message me. I answer everybody's questions. If you can't afford to go out with this and you have a question about the white, I'll answer your questions. I'm not trying to call it my river or
Sure.
our river. It's
Well, you better
everybody's,
not, because you'll probably see me up there
I know,
sometime.
right?
Probably a lot of us.
I know, right? So I tell you my spots. I'm not shy. I'm a teacher. I was an NCO when I was in the Army, which you're just a teacher.
Yeah.
And I love teaching. So
Well, cool. We just got a message from the audience. Tell us about the winning fly, or your winning fly.
funny story. I forgot about the contest until the night prior. Joe Smith here called me, and he was like the Don from Godfather. He's like, "Yeah, you got my flies? They're due tomorrow." And I was like, "I forgot," because all of a sudden everybody's like, "Hey, we want to buy your flies. We want you to be here with this and that,
Yeah.
and teach us whatever." And it's insane. And I forgot. And we had a Flycasters Family Day meeting the next day for the Indianapolis Flycasters, our local fly fishing club. And so I stayed up all night, and I just kind of made up a hopper pattern, big foam hopper, and I promised it would have deer hair in it, so I put a big deer hair wing,
Wow.
and I tied up 2 dozen of them. I took them to our meeting the next day, threw them on a picnic table. I was like, "There's 2 dozen of them. Pick the 4 that match." And we had Joe Smith here going through every one of them with a microscope. So, and that was it. I did it for a check in a box to be a participant.
Wow.
So, because Indianapolis, we only have 1 program in the state right now, I think, right?
Exactly.
And we're still one of the smaller programs because essentially we don't have trout.
Yeah.
And so, and there's a stigma that if you're fly fishing, you're fishing for trout. And that is not the case, because I just sold all my bait casters last year, and I kept 2 spinning rods. But I catch more fish on a fly rod,
Yeah.
and it requires more focus to get those good casts in there. And I'm not just casting and reeling fast as I can. I'm actually letting the water do a lot of the work, and I just catch more fish.
Very cool.
But-
So the key to winning these national contests is just wait until about midnight the night before and throw something together.
I might have had a Chardonnay or 2.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I got through high school and college, so it does kind of work.
Oh, I'm a procrastinator.
Yeah. Well, it's been great talking to you guys. Joe Smith, one last question. How can people find out more about Project Healing Waters?
Project Healing Waters, fly fishing, Indianapolis, Indiana is our website locally. Also, projecthealingwaters.org is our national program. Again, we're fully volunteer supported. About 92% of the funds that we receive from people go directly back into the program. So I would urge any veteran who's out there and who's listening to us right now, try to get in contact with myself or go to projecthealingwaters.org, and we can set you up with a program locally anywhere you are. So I think if you join us, you'll enjoy the time spent with us. So.
Absolutely. That's Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing, a great organization if you're a veteran. You can meet a lot of other folks with similar experiences and have a lot of fun doing it and catching some incredible fish. So I'm Brent Wheat, publisher of WildIndiana.com. We've been coming to you live from the Ganders Outdoor Store in Castleton. They're going to be open till 9 tonight, but they've got this special event featuring Project Healing Waters and other vendors and organizations till about 6 o'clock. So you got a little while left to run out here and see all the cool stuff they got. So on behalf of Joe Jackson and Joe Smith from Project Healing Waters, like I said, I'm Brent Wheat for WildIndiana.com live, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you sometime in the near future.